Hello and welcome everyone to this week's Gold and Silver Club Weekly Commodities Review in alliance with ACM Gold, presented by myself, Phil Carr, and Nick Kelsey at the Gold and Silver Club. Before we get started, just do a quick sound check, make sure you can hear us loud and clear and the visuals are working okay for you all. Fantastic. Okay, good. Right, in that case we'll get cracking. So today we will be reviewing the latest developments in the commodities markets. We'll be analysing the week's performance. The live session will cover an end of week summary for the metals, the energies, agriculture, and we'll be looking at gold, silver, oil, natural gas, and coffee. We'll be looking at the top trade of the week, as well as covering live market technical analysis. We'll look at the week ahead, the 6 major news announcements we need to pay attention to for the following week, and also answering any questions you may have too. So this week has been a very interesting week, both for the precious metals and also for some of the softs as well. We'll take a look at the price of gold very shortly. Before we do so, gold price has fallen this week, or towards the end of this week, on upbeat US data, whilst coffee soars on weak harvest. So gold prices ended the US trading session lower on Thursday, selling off in the aftermath of some of the stronger than expected US economic news and data. So the US economic reports on Thursday saw much of the data favour an upbeat mood for the US dollar, which trades inversely to gold. So the economic reports included a drop in weekly jobless claims falling to a 7-year low, an upbeat Empire State Manufacturing Survey, and a tame US Consumer Price Index, all putting downward pressure on the precious metals. In other commodities markets, coffee prices soared after Brazil announced a recent drought hit coffee crops severely, resulting in a weaker harvest this year. So high demand, low supply simply pushed coffee prices up 6.8% on Thursday to trade $197.75 a pound during the New York trading session. Rains in December were followed by a long and severe drought during the first quarter of 2014 throughout Brazil, and the lack of rain and high temperatures caused serious damage to the crops out there. Roughly 30% of Brazil's coffee crops were wiped out. So in what has been described as Brazil's worst drought in 30 years. The lack of rainfall has possibly compromised 2015 crop production as well. So it means next year's harvest could see further declines. Coffee prices have now gained more than 60% year to date based on the fundamentals. The coffee rally could still have much further to go. We'll take a look at the coffee technicals very shortly. We did get a very big surge yesterday based on this fundamental news. Before we do so, I'm Phil Carr, professional trainer and speaker. I'm the co-founder and director of the Gold and Silver Club. So I specialize in teaching people how to make money from trading the most lucrative financial markets in the world. So gold, silver, oil, natural gas, the commodity currencies. I've trained thousands of individuals to become independent traders and successfully manage their own investment portfolio. Also responsible for the research and development of the Gold and Silver Club trademark strategies that have a proven track record of delivering returns for traders, and contribute to a number of financial publications and speak at numerous trading seminars, webinars and workshops. Also joining me in running the Gold and Silver Club is Nick Kelsey, professional trader, investment analyst and speaker. Nick began his career within private wealth management in 2002 before making the transition into proprietary trading, and prior to co-founding the Gold and Silver Club spent over 5 years coaching professional fund managers and traders internationally for some of the world's top tier hedge funds and investment banks. And through his first-hand relationship with some of the world's most successful traders, discovered the formula, the mindset and tools that can give any individual the definitive edge to trade in any economy. Also regularly writes for a number of global business and financial publications, and we've appeared frequently on financial TV. So that's some background, guys, on the Gold and Silver Club. We'll take a look at the price of gold right now. We're currently trading at $1,292 an ounce and 37 cents. So we'll take a look at the technicals very shortly. Before we do so, the top trade of the week has actually been using the Gold and Silver Club signature trading strategies, a trade that we were looking at last week actually. So on last week's call, we were looking at natural gas. We'd just broken through some key levels. This actually ended up being a monster trade, over 325 points profit we made on that. The risk on the trade, 100 points. So each lot traded was $1,000 risk for 325 points profit, for $3,250 profit for each lot traded, for a 3-to-1 risk to reward on natural gas. So that moved very nicely after last week's call. So let's take a look at the technicals. Just get a bird's eye view of the markets at first, see where the action is happening just this afternoon. So I tell you what, right now I can tell you that Brent is breaking out. So we've got, we've had a consolidation on Brent crude oil over the last couple of days or so. We have got a fairly clear trend channel that has been forming to the upside over the last few days here as well. We can see Brent is just starting actually to break out this afternoon. We're getting a move. We're about 109.63 now. We've taken out yesterday's high, and we've also taken out Wednesday's high as well. So 109.63, also taken out 109.54. What we're looking for now, you can see there's a key level just above. We're looking really for a nice break here above the, you see there's 109.71 level. We're looking for a nice break, break above this trend line and come up and really hit the next key levels above. You can see there's not really too much resistance here for Brent. So Brent has got going right now. We've got a good move on Brent. Brent, we're getting a Friday breakout, and I'm looking for a breakout just above that fib level that we've got providing resistance at the moment. So Brent is on the move. Other markets which are looking very interesting at the moment, we'll take a look and we'll go over, in fact, we'll go over to coffee. Coffee had a really nice surge yesterday. You can see it's actually come up, found some resistance at some key moving averages. On the coffee market, you'll just show you on the different time frame here. You can see yesterday, this is the big surge that we got to the upside. Overall, coffee yesterday performed, let's just measure that, 4 years, over 125-point move to the upside. Now, what I'm seeing now is coffee is retracing a little bit. There's been some profit taking yesterday. We've come up, we've hit a major resistance level here, these key moving averages, and we are starting to see the coffee market retrace. What I'm expecting here is a possible move just back down to the low of the mother candle here for roughly about another 52 points. There is support lower here. We've got support around about another 17 points lower, and then I'm looking for a move, either finding support at that key level or getting a move all the way back to the mother candle low here. So coffee at the moment, although we got a nice surge yesterday, the overall momentum of today and the sentiment seems to be profit taking a sell short back to the low of the mother candle at the moment. So that's what I'm seeing for the coffee market. Other markets looking a little bit weak here are wheat, which is just continuing to pay off for us. We've been in short wheat for a few days now, and we can see we're continuing. We broke through another key level yesterday, another key Fibonacci level. We're continuing to come down, and the next key level below here, 66475, you can see we're just starting to break down lower here. Corn also suffering. Corn actually on its way down again now, broken through a key level. We've been in a downward trend this week on most of the softs. Apart from coffee's spike yesterday, wheat and corn have been great markets to short all week. We actually got the sell short signal at the weekend. We then broke down low off the open on Monday, and we've just been in a downward trend all week. So that we've had some really nice moves for a sell short on both wheat and corn this week. I just put those back in the 4-hour for you, so we can just take a look at those a little bit more closely. And we'll now move over to take a look at some of the year's best performance. Palladium. Palladium broke out this week to all-time highs. Okay, so I'm sure a lot of you are aware that Palladium did this. We've got a very clear trend channel here on Palladium where we're seeing a little bit of a bounce at the moment. This is the trend channel that's been in place since circa about the 20th of May. You can see we're getting consolidation within that. We've got a couple of different trend lines here. You've also got an upper trend line here as well, which is providing some resistance on the market too, but generally speaking, you can see higher highs, higher lows. We're getting a little bit of a bounce actually today. Again, we've had a pullback after we came up. We spiked up to 2014 highs and also all-time highs midweek on Wednesday. We've then got a bit of a reversal, a bit similar to what we're seeing on coffee, bit of a pullback at the moment. We've come back down to a key level, found some support, and we'll see whether we're going to get another attack of the the 2014 highs and the all-time highs here on palladium as we go into next week. A lot of money has already been made this week on palladium, so we're really keen to see how we're going to fare into next week if we're going to get another move above the highs here. So that's one to watch. Also, whilst we're on the subject of palladium, we'll take a look at platinum. Platinum's also had a very good week. Platinum's actually managed to get back up to certainly last 6-week highs at the moment. We've got a nice strong upward trending channel here on platinum. We did pull back yesterday. We pulled back on quite a lot of the commodities yesterday, but you can see at the moment we're getting a little bit of support today. There is a bit of a trend channel that you could just draw on here on this market. On platinum, getting a bit of a bounce at the moment. Actually, we'll see whether we're going to get a bullish move this afternoon on platinum, but platinum and palladium have had a pretty strong week so far. If we have a look on the other metals, gold is continuing to just consolidate. We've got a really nice pennant forming here, so you can see higher highs, higher lows. There's a lot of pressure building here on the gold market, and we are just waiting really for a breakout, either to break out from this downward trending channel or to break the support. So we're either going to break the support or the resistance. We're stuck banging in the middle of that at the moment, of the support and resistance. You can see the price as it's just been consolidating. Even today it's consolidating again. We had a brief test of 1287, found support, another hammer forming on the daily. So I think we really need to clear either resistance or support to get the next big move here on gold. And the US dollar index, that will also have an inverse correlation. We're seeing that have quite a large impact. We had some bullish moves this week on the US dollar index, which have halted really gold's move to the upside. But this is one to watch for a breakout to see which way gold is going to break out. Now copper's been interesting. Copper, very clear channel on copper. If you put copper on the daily chart, you just draw these trend channels. You've got a very clear channel. Copper is consolidating a little bit. It's similar to what we saw back here at the moment at the end of April. We consolidated around resistance and eventually we sold off, broke through. I'm seeing the same at the moment here. So we are continuing just to consolidate. So here we've got that consolidation around that resistance level, and then we just came up and we sold off. We're getting a very similar pattern forming at the moment on the copper market. So you can see we're consolidating around resistance here, and I'm looking for us just to come down and break lower here at the moment and retest really the lower end of this trend channel. For copper in the short term at the moment, certainly anyway, get a bit of a pullback for the time being. If we take a look at silver, silver's not faring so well, probably the weakest of the metals at the moment. Silver not that far away from its 3-year lows. There is a little bit of a trend channel that you can also put into silver here, so you can see getting a little bit of support again today around the lower end of that trend channel. Also got a bit of a V-shaped reversal here as well, so whether we are going to get a further breakout. I think if we can continue to, if we do get a breakout on gold to the upside, that will certainly pick up the silver market. Here's a little trend channel which is forming just currently at the moment on the silver market, and we'll see. We did get a sell-off this morning. We're looking a bit weak here on silver, but we still maintain that trend channel. We haven't come down and tested the lows of May yet, so it's still just about holding up. So we'll see how we do into the close today on silver. Moving across to the energies, so we noted that Brent crude oil is breaking out this afternoon. Natural gas is, however, doing the opposite. So natural gas, our top trade of the week. This week, I think this is actually, this line on the chart represents last week where we were looking to take an additional short position. For those of you who joined us on last week's webinar, you can see since we took that trade, we've moved circa 200 points to the downside. We got a retracement yesterday on natural gas storage inventories. So the nat gas storage inventories, they came in and provided a nice spike to the upside. However, that has been short-lived. We've seen that spike come down, find resistance at key MAs again, and we're getting a bit of consolidation around a key Fibonacci. You can see there's a couple of key levels here, but we're looking for that to just continue, get a continuation of this sell short at the moment on nat gas and just come down a little bit lower. It hasn't really done enough work to break out of this downward trend at the moment. Okay, so that's really what we're seeing with the markets this afternoon. There's quite a lot for us to pay attention to, so I'll go back to that bird's eye view and we can just do a little summary here, and we'll go into the top 6 announcements we need to really watch as we go into the following week. Okay, so Palladium broke out to all-time highs this week. Palladium is a great market for us to be keeping an eye on right now. Particularly, we've got a very clear trend channel, got to bounce off that just this morning. I'll be keeping an eye on Palladium, particularly if we can get another breakout and put some more highs in certainly over the course of the rest of May. I'll be also keeping an eye certainly on gold. Gold's just consolidating between those key levels we discussed. So we're just looking for a breakout, a firm breakout to the upside, or for a sell short at the moment. We just continue to consolidate. We need a real firm break to get a lot of momentum behind that. Copper at the moment consolidating around resistance, expecting a little bit of a pullback and then a continuation to the upside. Platinum actually seems to be on the move again. You look at platinum right now, this little trend channel, it's bounced off today, a little bit earlier on today. It's got a very strong trend channel as well. I think platinum is one to watch actually. Platinum looks good. I think if we get above this resistance we've got around 1472, this might spike up circa around about, yeah, another, yeah, to the next key resistance there, just measuring that at the moment. I would take a look at that actually on the platinum market. Keep an eye on that for Friday afternoon. If we move over to silver, silver for me not really doing too much, bounce off the lower end of the trend channel as well, not really an active market for us to be looking at today. Nat Gas made a lot of money on the sell short side. We just expecting a continuation of that for the time being after yesterday's inventories. Brent crude oil is going to be one to watch today. See if we get a breakout above yesterday's high here, 109.71. Coffee, we're expecting a little bit more further downside here. We get a retest probably of previous resistance here, which may become new support, but otherwise we're expecting a move back to the mother candle low. And the wheat and corn market, both of these looking weak at the moment. Don't seem to be finding any, I'm not seeing any major support where these markets are right now until they get to low levels. So you can see both breaking down, both nice sell shorts at the moment. We continue to hold sells on corn and wheat at the moment. You can see corn actually breaking down, and both of them breaking down on this Friday afternoon. So there's lots for us to keep an eye on over the coming week, and lots of trade setups for us to look at over the course of the rest of the day. So let's just take a look at the major news announcements that we've got in the week ahead, the key events looking forward. Okay, so these major news announcements we've got this afternoon, 3:55 p.m. Central Africa time. We've got the Michigan consumer sentiment. So that's likely to give a little bit further direction here on some of the metals. That index rates the relative level of current and future economic conditions. There are two versions of that data. They're released 2 weeks apart. So you've got the preliminary data, which tends to have a greater impact, and then you've got the impact of that is a higher than expected reading should be taken as bullish for the US dollar, and a lower than expected reading should be taken as bearish for the US dollar. Then Wednesday the 21st of May at 4:30 p.m. Central Africa time, 10:30 a.m. Eastern time, we have the US crude oil inventory. So that data reports the number of barrels of crude oil commercial firms have in their inventory. So commercial firms report those levels to the energy information on a weekly basis. That often gives us quite a powerful move on the oil market. I would definitely keep an eye out for that. Higher than expected reading should be taken as bullish for crude oil, while bearish for crude oil, sorry, while a lower than expected reading should be taken as bullish. Next Thursday, 22nd of May, 3:45 a.m. Central Africa time, 9:45 Eastern time, we've got the Chinese HSB manufacturing PMI. And that is a leading indicator for the whole economy. So when the PMI is below 50, indicates that the manufacturing economy is declining, and a value above 5.0 indicates an expansion. China is, of course, a big buyer of gold, silver, copper, and oil. A stronger than expected number should be taken as positive for the metals and the energies, and a lower than expected number should be taken as negative. So that will definitely have a big impact on the commodities. Next Thursday, 22nd of May at 4 p.m. Central Africa time, 10 a.m. Eastern time, we have the US existing home sales. So the existing home sales measures change in the annualized number of existing residential buildings that were sold during the previous month. So that report is a key indicator of overall economic strength. The higher than expected reading should be taken as bullish for the US dollar, and a lower than expected reading should be taken as bearish for the US dollar. Next Thursday, 22nd of May, 4:30 p.m. Central Africa time, 10:30 a.m. Eastern time, we have the US natural gas storage report. So the Energy Information Administration, the EIA natural gas storage report, measured the change in the number of cubic feet of natural gas held in underground storage during the past week. So whilst it is a US indicator, it does tend to have a greater impact also on the Canadian dollar due to Canada's sizable energy sector, also important because the Canadian dollar is correlated to oil prices. And also next Friday, the 23rd of May, we've got 4 p.m. Central Africa time, 10 a.m. Eastern time, the US new home sales. Okay, so that measures the analyzed number of family homes that were sold during the previous month. It's a report that tends to have more impact when it's released alongside existing home sales because the reports are tightly correlated, but a higher than expected reading should be taken as bullish for the US dollar, and a lower than expected reading should be taken as bearish. That will definitely also have an impact on the metals and the gold and silver market. So do take note of those 6 key news announcements over the coming week. And following on from that, we're getting a lot of inquiries regarding this. So if you'd like to learn to trade commodities with the Gold and Silver Club at our training centers or online, you can find out more about how to do so. So very simply, in order to do that, all you need to do is go to the following link, which is www.jointhegoldandsilverclub.com, or very simply call us at our Johannesburg office, which is +2711 083 8403 to find out more. Of course, feel free to email us as well, office@thegoldandsilverclub.com, to find out more information on our live trading room and coaching programs which we have available. And of course, do make sure you to take advantage of our newsletter. So at the Gold and Silver Club, you'll receive a free weekly newsletter, give you an update on the precious metals, the energies and the agriculture. For the week ahead as well, everything you need to know in terms of market analysis and prices. So do make sure you take advantage of that. It's free, absolutely free for you to sign up to get that newsletter. And of course, if you'd like to find out more and register for one of our commodities training courses, you can find out more with the details on the screen there. Okay, fantastic. So with that, guys, I wish you good luck for the rest of the day's trading. There's lots to be looking at this afternoon. We've got quite a few interesting setups there. And we'll catch you back here same time next week, guys. So have a great weekend, and we will see you on the next one. Okay, take care, everybody. Bye-bye.